One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart steel and a spirit unbroken. He rides onto his ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and earth, the thunderous roar. Insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report and paves his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Wow, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and happy freaking Monday. Great to see everyone in the chat, man. So check it out. We are dual streaming live on YouTube right now. We have a vertical live stream and we have a horizontal live stream. Just depends on which one you guys prefer to be in. But nonetheless, we're doing both of them. So this morning, as I have labeled out for everybody, government shutdown updates, as well as Trump pardons, Rudy, Giuliani, and others. So we have some information regards to the government shutdown. As you guys know, the Congress Democrats voted. We had the somewhat, I would say somewhat, they're the center left, and they're the ones, we had a 60-40 vote or something like that. Nonetheless, we got it passed, and after the 15th vote, the government is theoretically going to be open soon, not completely. That's where people are like, oh, well, the government's open right now. Well, not necessarily. So now that exact deal has to go to the House, and then the House has to sign and approve, and then it goes to the president's desk. And so that could take 3, 4, 5, 6 days. We don't know. So nonetheless, we have a whole bunch to talk about this morning. We're going to be talking about, first and foremost, I'm going to give you guys the whole lineup of this morning. So where's Trump's Golden Dome project stand? So we have an update regards to the Golden Dome into regards to us being able to protect ourselves here and using the Golden Dome. I don't really think we need one, but whatever. We have, I mean, it can't hurt, but it's going to cost a lot of fucking money. It can hurt financially. Then we also had yesterday that happened. Breaking news. Hamas claims body is slain Israeli soldier and given over to the Israeli government. So now the Israeli government is saying that they are only missing 3 more bodies now. So interesting new development there. Also, regards to some things that were talked about yesterday is Mamdani, the future of the Democrat Party. That's a good question. And then we have Tampa tragedy. New video shows chase before driver hits crowd. Damn. First snow, 2 to 4 feet possible up in the Great Lakes. We have that update for you guys as well. We're watching the weather. This morning for me, it said it feels like 33 degrees, or it is 33 degrees, but feels like 14 degrees or something like that. And I was like, oh shit, man. Like it really got cold, like super fast overnight. And then 3 hours ago, there's an update regards to Senate passes test vote to reopen the government. And it does come with some sort of contingencies. We're going to talk about that. Trump pardons Rudy Giuliani and Mark Meadows. We have that update for you guys as well. Israeli government briefing amid Gaza ceasefire. And I guess there was some sort of violation. Let me go ahead and read it. Israeli government spokesperson Sosh, I don't know how to say her last name, gave a briefing in Tel Aviv Monday, which is this morning, after they again accused Hamas of violating the U.S.-brokered ceasefire, forcing the Israel Defense Forces to take lethal action. So, wild times. All right, so let's go ahead and pretty much do our call to actions real quick, and then we'll hang out and get right into it. So make sure you guys come in and hit that like button. It helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. I always appreciate you guys. As well, if you guys are brand new to the show, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button and as well as hit that subscribe button because it's absolutely free to do so. Now, here comes the money part. Please consider becoming a member, starting only at $2.99 a month. Making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody, but check it out. This is what allows us to be, not only have these lights on right now, but to be on these airwaves. So I very much appreciate you guys becoming members and then staying members. Little side note here, follow my Instagram at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news. It's a great way to get a hold of me one-on-one. And we also have a Discord link in the description box down below of every single video. I'm sure one of the moderators, Naomi's probably in here, will drop the Discord server for you guys. Make sure you guys join up on that. And last but not least, all super chats, super stickers, gifted membership signups are, of course, all going to be presented live onto the stream and shouted out. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash,
denied.
Then we have these platforms right down below and above on the vertical live. It's up there. For us in the horizontal, we got this down here. So anyways, make sure you guys, all super chats, all that stuff is all going to be talked about and kind of like as if it was a super chat itself. You know what I mean? That's why I have my email up right away and I can read out your message when you guys send something in. All right, good morning and good evening, good afternoon to all of you motherfuckers up in the building. Hopefully you're all enjoying your morning. So as you guys know, we're dual streaming on YouTube. So, I've got both your guys' chats inside of one chat for me. So we got Motobomb up in the building as well as Naomi and SNS, America Uncensored. Good morning to you guys. We got Hardwire 1%er up in the building as well as Carney's Ride and Mark, my man. Good morning to you. We got Mountain Woman and Extra Surprise. Good morning. Good morning. We are scrolling down, making sure we're saying hi to everybody. We got Sick Bastard as well. We got Alexa. I think that's how you say your name. Alexia? I think Alexia. Great. Good morning. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning so far. We got Rabbit of Chaos in the building as well. Always appreciate you. All right. We got Riding with Rudy. Good morning. Good morning. As well as William. I see you. It's saying 6'7" over here, this motherfucker. We got Joseph up there in Canada, our favorite snow Mexican, by the way. Just saying.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
He says, don't forget the haters, stop the cat.
Stop the cat.
That's right, bro. Good morning. We got Steve Posey as well. Good morning to you. Great to see you in the chat. Yes, we are ready to go, bro. We got Carrie up in the building as well. Good morning to you. We got Beezer as well as Tiffany. Good morning, you guys. Appreciate you guys. Money. I need money now. That is very true. I do need money. It's always a nice thing to be able to have a little money. Let's get the money part done.
All right, just get the money part done.
Give me.
How come it didn't show up on my side? It only showed up on the other
All right,
side.
just get the money part done.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
Okay, so that's interesting. There's a little glitch there where it only played on the vertical stream and not the main stream. That was weird. And then I redid it, and then it did work. But then I heard double. That was weird. We got Glare up in the building as well, and Traveling with Time. One Time, good morning to you. Great to see you in the chat. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning. We got Pablo as well, and Tamara, good morning to you guys. Stephanie as well. All right, we're going to get right into this, you guys. We got a lot to discuss this morning as it is a big news day.
We have a lot to cover tonight.
Let me go ahead and bring up this volume.
Start by talking with our friend Hal Kempfer. He's a national security analyst, retired Marine intelligence officer, and the host of the Strat podcast. Hal and I want to talk about the Gaza war, the Russia-Ukraine war. But first, I want to talk about something that The Economist has been writing about lately, Hal.
Now, this is into regards, I told you guys, we're going to start this whole thing off with the Golden Dome.
Specifically, the Golden Dome. We're looking at file footage, if you will, of random missiles being fired and defense systems at work.
Well, Naomi, if you don't like the vertical streams, then go over to the horizontal stream. They're both live right now. You can go to the other one.
We don't really have any visual representation of what the actual Golden Dome itself might look like. I want to make that clear. For anybody who's curious what the Golden Dome is, by the way, it's a proposed U.S. defense system intended to protect the homeland from missile threats.
Yeah, but we have such a humongous, I mean, our nation is so big, right? I mean, you got to think the Iron Dome that was created over there for Israel, it does do a fantastic job, but there's three whole parts to the Iron Dome. The Iron Dome is a specific short-range defense mechanism, but there's three levels to the Iron Dome that they call it, right? Anywho, the problem is the Iron Dome is great for a place like Israel. I mean, it's the size of New Jersey, so it's a small place, but the United States is so big that, I mean, you would have to probably have a whole bunch spaced out, you know. You can't just use one Golden Dome to protect all of the United States.
All kinds.
Not going to happen.
The U.S. wants the Golden Dome to operate in space. It'll be maintained in Earth's orbit.
So it's going to operate from space? What? That's the first time I've heard that. That's crazy.
The U.S. wants the Golden Dome to operate in space. It'll be maintained in Earth's orbit. Basically, you can think of it as something similar to Israel's Iron Dome, except on a larger scale. The Economist has been writing this week that it has some major questions about the project's cost.
Yeah, so Steve Posey, in order to leave a like on the vertical streams, just so you know, you have to double tap the screen. That's how that works.
Feasibility, timeline, and strategic implications. Hal, let's start with explaining why a Golden Dome is necessary. What will it be able to do that isn't possible today?
That's a good question.
What a Golden Dome does is really change our strategy, if you will. What it changes is, right now we still operate under a broader concept called mutually assured destruction. It's been around
up, FDF?
Since the 60s or 70s, if you want to go back that far. The idea is if there is a launch back at that time, the Soviet Union and the U.S., that the thing that would hold us all back is that one would launch and
I highly doubt that one there. FDF.
Both sides get wiped out, and we have a triad system of ICBMs, ground-launched missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, and then, of course, bombers that would deliver nuclear weapons. And on all of these things would provide a counterweight, if you will, to a potential Soviet launch at that time. Now we have Russia. But we also have China is building up its inventory. Still not up there close to parity with the U.S. or Russia, but they are increasing fast. And then we have North Korea.
What's up, Gunpowder Nitro? My man, good morning. Great to see you.
Kind of throwing a monkey wrench in the whole thing because it's a very, it has a very unstable kind of rogue regime, and we're not quite sure about what they would or would not do. So the Golden Dome would change this math by putting up a
What's up, Josephus? Good morning.
defensive shield, kind of like the Iron Dome over Israel. The challenge for the U.S. is we're a heck of a lot bigger than Israel. We encompass, when you look at our air defense requirements, we encompass pretty much North America or most of North America. And it's not quite clear how this
What's up, Taylor? Good morning.
dome would work. In Israel, it's a very small geographical space, and their Iron Dome is mostly towards protecting, Israel, but also Israeli population centers, major critical infrastructure like the David Ben Gurion Airport and some other things. And even then, we have seen missiles, particularly from the Houthis, occasionally sneak in through that dome, if you will. So it's really not clear what this is. And then the space-based system.
I'm not fucking with my screen at all. What are you talking about, Frank? You go to the other live stream if you don't like this one. There's 2 live streams going on, Frank. I've said that 3 times now, motherfucker. Go over to the horizontal live stream if you don't like vertical.
If you talk about doing stuff from space versus the ground, that's been talked about. I mean, that goes back to the Reagan era Star Wars.
Yo, Naomi coming in with the 9 months, by the way, as an officer, by the way, saying love and respect to my IWF and love to Mike. That's awesome. Always appreciate that, as well as 9 months, man. Naomi, thank you so much for that.
Concept. But to do something like that, we would have to put a tremendous amount of low Earth orbit satellites. And if they're low Earth orbit, it's a tremendous amount because then they're orbiting faster than the rotation of the Earth. They're not fixed in space. They're having to move very quickly around the Earth, orbiting very quickly.
Mr. Fat Man, or Fat Matt, I don't think there's any fat people in North Korea aside from Kim Jong-un, right? Shit. Just
in order to maintain
good morning, good afternoon,
enough
good
of those
evening.
satellites over North America to provide that shield. And then the fear is, well, would this open up a new era of anti-satellite attacks or anti-satellite capabilities in space? We're already seeing problems with that.
I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Are you a Christian country streamer? I mean, I am a Christian. Grew up in L.A., Long Beach, in California, and now I do live in the country, which is awesome. So I guess I do fit those qualifications. Shit.
Oh shit!
Feels ultra bad.
In fact, the Chinese have three astronauts stuck on their space station because their capsule to come home got hit with space debris, and it's caused damage. So there's a lot of concerns that go into this, and that's kind of what the Economist article was pointing to, is the technology.
Hell yeah, Frank.
We're not sure exactly how this would work. And then there's other things where, you aim for space, but then you got, we look at ICBMs or large high trajectory ballistic missiles, but then we have a plethora of cruise missiles, the Russians just took.
I gotta love when newcomers come in, you know what I mean? And they have no idea about my stances. No, I don't support Israel. I support the United States. This whole, America first ideology is fucking gay in the first place.
Why are you gay?
It should be fucking America only, motherfuckers. All of our money, fuck funding everybody, including all these bullshit organizations, NATO, all this crap. We need all of it. Needs to disband all of it.
An old Soviet design and did a nuclear powered cruise missile. So the fear is that if we develop a system to go against what's out there today, that there could be a leapfrog in technology that can make this a white elephant system, a very expensive white elephant system.
Yeah, this is an ambitious project. The Economist describes it like this. They say it'll likely involve building interceptors in space or near space. It'll involve tracking hypersonic threats and integrating all of this into a seamless shield. Is it fair to ask whether such a system is actually feasible? How the U.S. does have a reputation of pushing boundaries and figuring things out.
We do.
So this is interesting. This whole thing, we're going to end up following this because I'm sure that there's going to be more and more things that come out here. So The Economist comes out on Twitter, X, whatever. Missile threats are multiplying, but the scope of Donald Trump's Golden Dome remains dangerously vague. If that does not change, it could become a costly and deplenishing white elephant. Interesting. Let's see if there's any other tweets from that. I don't think so. All right, we're going to move into, because we got like 18 stories to do this morning. Not really. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 stories in total. Usually we do about 6, so we're going to run through these. This next one is a fast one. There was some updates into regards to the hostages over there, or hostage situation over there in Israel, because there was one hostage that was given back yesterday over to the Israeli government from Hamas. So I'll read the headline. Breaking: Hamas claims body is slain Israeli soldier. And that leaves now, I believe, 3 of the hostages that are out there that they need to find, essentially. But let's go ahead and break this. This is quick. This happened yesterday, by the way, just for full transparency.
Right now, though, we are following some breaking news.
Why is it so
coming
low?
out of the Middle East. And I do want to pop this up on your screen. You can see it there from the Associated Press. As they say, breaking: Israel says the Red Cross has received the body of a hostage in Gaza that Hamas claims is Israeli soldier Hadar Golden. Now, we also did get a statement coming in here from the IDF. They say, according to information provided by the Red Cross, a coffin of a deceased hostage has been transferred into its custody and is on the way to IDF troops in Gaza. Hamas is required to uphold.
How do you get that fucking take, LLMG? What I mean by it is our money needs to benefit our people. That's it. End of story. It doesn't need to go to other countries and other people that I quite frankly don't give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck. We're not talking about foreign invasions right now. In my ideology, I am specifically talking about finances. Okay, we can be in support of shit on a moral level. We can do all that. That's great. Whatever. I don't give a shit. But as long as our money isn't going to it.
The agreement and take the necessary steps to return all of the deceased hostages.
What's
Again,
up,
we have been following all
Presley?
of these releases
Good
here
morning.
as they are coming in, and Hamas here is claiming.
Make sure you guys hit that like button, by the way. I always appreciate you guys. You guys don't have to like it for the craziness around the world, obviously, but you guys can like it for me and my takes. I very much appreciate that, and it goes a long fucking way.
This is the body of an Israeli soldier who was killed more than 10 years ago and has been held in Gaza since 2014. His remains are believed to be the only ones that are currently held in Gaza since the current war started years ago between Israel and Hamas back on October 7th of 2023. Hamas claims it found the body of the soldier, Hadar Golden, in a tunnel in the enclave's southernmost city of Rafah yesterday. Golden was killed on August 1st of 2014. That's 2 hours after a ceasefire took effect.
What's up, chatting with Stacks? My man. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Your morning so far. I definitely know that we are. Monday morning, we're trying to, not have the Monday blues over here, right? But we do have a big news day this morning.
That year's war between Israel and Hamas. The remains are now being transferred to Israel and to the National Forensic Institute for identification. If the body is identified as Golden's, there will now be 4 bodies of hostages that do remain in Gaza. Of course, we'll keep you updated here as we do get more information. But as we
I'm not really sure what you're referring to there, FDF.
Showed you, the IDF releasing this statement on Telegram saying, quote, according to information provided by the Red Cross, a coffin of a deceased hostage has been transferred into its custody and is on the way to IDF troops in the Gaza Strip. Hamas is required to uphold the agreement and take the necessary steps to return all of the deceased hostages. We are also hearing that David Mencer, the Israeli government spokesperson.
Bubba and Crystal, good morning to you guys. Great to see you. Hopefully you're all enjoying your morning.
Should be a news conference on this and the status of the ceasefire in just a matter of moments. You can watch it all here.
We're going to be talking about this here in a second in regards to the shutdown, chatting with Stacks. I reported that yesterday on social media and stuff, but we are going to be talking about the governmental shutdown and the vote that just passed yesterday. But first, we're going to talk about Mamdani, the future of the Democrat Party.
I do want to talk about another big story that we have been following here over the past, I would say, several days since Election Day on Tuesday. That is where Democrats swept those elections. We know Zoran Mamdani was elected the mayor of New York City. We also have Abigail Spanberger, a Democrat, who is the governor of Virginia, and governor-elect of New Jersey is Mikey Sherrill. Mamdani right now is over in Puerto Rico.
That's right. We got 19 over there on the horizontal. I think most of you guys are on the vertical, but always appreciate you guys. We matched the likes and the views. Always appreciate that.
As he's attending a conference here just days after his election.
My final day here for Somos, celebrating the labor movement, celebrating that movement in New York City, be it Teamsters Local 210, who we stood with in their fight against management at Perigo in the Bronx, be it HTC Local 610, which stood up and just won a 1-year contract with better
What's up, Pixie
wages
Dust?
and a better ability to afford life here in San Juan. And celebrating also what these last few days have been, which have been meetings with partners, whether in the council, whether at the state level, whether in leading the entirety of the state and our governor and our attorney general, or organized labor, all with the purpose of delivering the affordability agenda that we ran on throughout the entirety of this campaign. I've said throughout the entirety of this campaign that this is a campaign to bring the struggles of working New Yorkers back to the focus of our politics and to ensure that City Hall is seen as a place that not only recognizes those struggles, but actually delivers on the material needs of those working people.
All right, now taking a live look here over New York City at this hour, and I do want to talk about those elections, again, just days ago here. Let's bring in Casey Myers, professor and director of graduate studies here at Virginia Tech School of Communication.
I agree, Ozzy. Socialism does absolutely kill. I got to agree. All right.
Casey, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
I really don't care about what you've got to say about it. You know what I mean? Like, I care about what's actually happening, but I don't really care about what your feelings of the situation are. I really don't give a fuck. So I thought we were going to get a little bit more into more of a storyline there, but instead we brought on some political analyst, whatever, from Virginia Tech to talk about it. I don't give a fuck about him. So we're going to move on. Tampa tragedy. A new video shows chase before driver hits crowd. This happened yesterday as well, just full transparency. There was a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend, so hence why we're talking about it right now. And we're going to lead up into current time. So let's go ahead and bring this up first, and we'll discuss it.
We brought you the information just yesterday after 4 people were killed and at least 13 injured when a man crashed into an Ybor City business early yesterday. That is, of course, in Tampa.
Yo, Mountain Woman, I got you.
Why are you gay?
Shit.
Florida. And a lot of the information here coming in from our Fox 13 Tampa team. This is actually video of the suspect that was provided by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. That is where Tampa is located. Tampa police saying they arrested Silas Sampson, 22 years old, on several charges after the deadly incident. Tampa Police Chief Lee Burkhaw says this all began around 12:30 a.m. Saturday when officers spotted two vehicles that were racing near Hannah Avenue and Nebraska Avenue. This is over in Tampa, and they did provide...
Yeah, Matt, I did see that. I saw a lot of people that had some serious money and capital, business, all that shit. They're like, I'm fleeing. And where does everybody from New York always flee to? They always got to go down there to fucking Florida. Now, good thing I don't live in Florida because I'd be pissed off getting invaded by you fucks.
This video showing the pursuit as the drivers proceeded westbound on Hillsborough Avenue. One of the vehicles drove onto I-275 southbound. From there, the air unit did track it as it then exited downtown. Florida Highway Patrol troopers joined in and tracked the vehicle over to Nebraska Avenue and Palm Avenue, where they attempted what's known as a pit maneuver to stop it. The vehicle then proceeded down a very busy 7th Avenue and ultimately lost control of the car and crashed into the patio area of Bradley's on 7th, which is located in the 1500 block of East 7th Avenue.
All right, Lord.
More than a dozen people were hit outside of the business. Again, 4 people killed and 13 other people suffered injuries ranging from minor
Dez, why would you say that? Eat the rich? Why? They're the ones paying you, motherfuckers.
To life-threatening. Police are still working this investigation, and we know that all of the victims are over the age of 20. The chief saying, quote, we had a tragic incident where...
What's up, Christopher Collins? Roll Tide. Great to see you up in the building.
These 4 victims senselessly lost their lives, and 11 others were injured as a result of a careless, reckless driver. 2 more victims injured were later found, but again, this is some of the video that is coming in from Tampa's air unit as we get additional information. Now, last night, a vigil was held where one of the survivors who was treated at a hospital was able to speak. The remarks were very brief, but I do want to bring them to you here right now on Live Now from Fox.
I want to thank everyone for coming, and I greatly appreciate showing up for our community.
Oh, boy.
Why are you gay?
And this tragedy just happened yesterday. One of the survivors that are here, and we'll be speaking in just a few minutes, but I want to thank everyone for coming on this. Our community is strong. We are here. We're coming together to heal and to be together. Mr. Richard is one of the survivors. Would you like to say something real quick?
Yeah, I was telling everyone that I don't know how we were able to organize something like this so fast, but this is just a perfect example that we have one of the best and strongest communities in the entire world, that we come out and we show up.
I hear you, Laura, for sure. I hear you.
When crazy things happen. And as much as I wish that last night was just a freak accident, a lot of negligence happened. A young man who was...
Wait, why should no one person have billions, trillions, millions, quadrillions, fucking zentillions? Why shouldn't they? Why not? Don't we live in capitalism? So, just saying.
Not capable of making good decisions, decided to get behind the wheel last night. And he took good people away from their families. And he's hurt so many other people.
Damn it, Panda.
But just because someone hurts us, just because someone's negligent or selfish, that's not an excuse.
What's up, Fort Blaster?
And I really hope that in a time like this, we can learn to grow in a way that opens our hearts and doesn't make us bitter or cold or angry at each other But we use opportunities like this and experiences like this to come closer and to just be stronger. So if you guys are out here tonight and you don't know the person who's standing next to you, you know,
I mean, good on him. He's got a good message, but man, he is very, I don't know, like, he's rough to listen to.
Hug them, shake their hand. You never know what can happen next. You literally never know what can happen next. So just be kind to each other, be respectful.
I agree.
Above everything else, if you think that you want to go out and have a good time with your friends.
What's up, Sterling Wheel, my man? Good morning to you.
Just be responsible, because you never know whose life you can affect. Well, thank you, guys.
Now at this time, I would like to have a moment of silence.
What's up, Joker, my man? Good morning.
For everyone.
Okay, so I guess that's pretty much what they wanted to do there. All right, we're going to move on, though. So a little bit in regards to the weather, man. We have had a little bit of a cold spree over the last 24 hours, and up there in Michigan is definitely feeling a little bit. We're going to talk about it just for a second. First snow, 2 to 4 feet possible up in the Great Lakes. Definitely a little rough. I live down here in northern Alabama, and I woke up this morning, got in the shower, all that, got out, was preparing the show, and I looked at the weather, and it said it's 33 degrees and feels like 14, and I was like, God damn, like, we're not used to that, at least I'm not. I mean, I know some people are kind of used to it, but not me. And down here where I live, it's been for the last week in the 60s. So, yeah, anyways, it's a little cold. All right, we're going into this.
This is over in Gaylord, Michigan.
Gaylord. Yeah. It's over there in Gaylord, Michigan. Shit.
Why are you gay?
I guess they are gay.
You are gay.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's snow and what appears to be a snowman, however, not likely actually made from snow. Just wanted to show that to you here because it is a pretty cool image coming in from EarthCam. Right now, though, I do want to head out to Michigan City, Indiana. That's where we have Brandy Campbell with Fox Weather joining us live with a look at everything going on there. And Brandy, are you seeing any snow just yet?
Oh, she's muted.
And when I say early,
yeah, that was from their side. He was like, "Oh shit, I had this bitch muted."
I'm talking about 1 a.m. up until about 5 or 6 a.m. this morning, and then things died down here in Michigan City. But right.
So I want to hear. So Rabbit of Chaos says it's 61 over there in Central Florida. You guys, let me know what is the temp that it is for you guys right now.
Right now, I think we are just starting to get some precipitation, but it seems to be more like rain. And then later on in the day, we're really going to start to get the most impactful snow. It's going to be when the lake effect snow band sets up late tonight going into Monday. So here, even going west into Chicago, we're under a winter storm warning through Monday afternoon. Locally here, we might get 8 to 12 inches of...
Shit, real quick, I got to thank, we got, well, I'm going to read the message first. Happy birthday, Marines, and happy Veterans Day to all vets tomorrow. Seth, I really appreciate you sending in the $1 dono on the PayPal. Yes, I very much appreciate it, making it rain in there.
Snow, and this is
every dollar counts.
Impactful because it's the first snowfall of the year, and they're doing it really big with maybe that foot of snow. Now, I mentioned we got a little bit earlier this day, so you can see we're standing in front of a dealership right here, and there's some snow, a very thin layer on top of some of these vehicles, but that's about it. There's not much or any snow really left on any other surfaces like grass, and definitely not the streets. For the most part, it's melted once it hits the surface. But once we start to get that lake effect snow, that's when we're expecting it to really start to cake up. Now, it is starting.
Damn, 32 in Ohio. We got Stephanie. I know it's Steven, but it's Stephanie. She says 30 degrees over where she's at. 55 today over there in Texas, 45 down in lower Alabama, but feels like 70. Really? What? There's no way. There's no way it's that fucking... Are you serious? Aren't you in lower Alabama? And it's that fucking warm for you? No way.
To impact us already, this winter weather, because some areas do have some snow reports of maybe an inch or two of snow that's accumulated. O'Hare, Chicago O'Hare International Airport, they saw some delays of nearly an hour and a half for incoming flights.
Wow. 24, sorry, is in Nova Scotia. I didn't know that, but he said in 52 degrees Fahrenheit. That's actually pretty nice. You got it quite a bit warmer than I do.
It's because
right
of the
now.
Snow they saw earlier this morning. And then
22.
we have several other airports. Akron, Canton, their local airport, Detroit, Minneapolis, they activated their de-icing programs to go ahead and remove any snow and ice from departing planes. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. And then the snowplows here in northwestern Indiana, they are already out roaming the streets, working 24/7, currently de-icing. They have about 80 of their trucks out right now, and they're going to add some more as we go get deeper into the more impactful portions of this snow event. Now, I've been talking to some of the locals here, and what...
Yeah, Wendy, that's pretty damn cold over there in Virginia.
Yeah, I spoke to
already.
He's
feels like 23.
Been here for about a year, and he's really excited for this snow. It's the first one. Meanwhile, Some of the locals who've grown up here say they're used to this. Take a listen.
I wouldn't say we're excited because, again...
Yeah, but we're also not, shocked. We all knew this shit was coming. I'm pretty sure everyone up there in Michigan is probably thinking, like, yeah, this shit sucks ass, but we saw this shit coming.
It's not like it's the holiday.
We know it's going to happen.
Us, but it's more of, at least we have been notified well enough in advance to prepare. I was a little surprised that there was snow on the ground this morning when I woke up. But again, this is part of the life of living in northern Indiana. It could be snow one day, and then by the afternoon, it's sunny and 80 degrees. So everything always changes up.
It always changes up. All right, we're moving on. So Senate passes test vote to reopen the government yesterday. That's one of the things that we did announce on social media as well as on the YouTube post. I posted that yesterday. Let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit here.
We continue to follow a lot of news out of Washington, D.C. as you're taking a live look there at the U.S. Capitol this morning. The Senate took the first step to end the government shutdown on Sunday after a group of moderate Democrats agreed to proceed without a guaranteed extension of health care subsidies, angering many in their caucus who say Americans want them to continue the fight. In a test vote that is the first in a series of required procedural maneuvers, the Senate voted 60-40 to move toward passing compromise legislation to fund the government and hold a later vote on extending Affordable Care Act tax credits that expire January 1st. Final passage could be several days away if Democrats object and delay the process.
The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
So here's the votes. There were 60 yeas and 40 nays.
And that was the vote there last night. The agreement does not guarantee the health care subsidies.
No. So just so everyone knows, that doesn't mean that the government is open right now. That's not the way this works. So the Senate Democrats essentially, well, everyone voted. But in the Senate, it's cleared the Senate. But now it has to go down to the House, and the House has to sign it. And then it has to go onto Trump's desk, and then he has to sign it. So this shit could take a few days. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Will be extended as Democrats have demanded for almost 6 weeks. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer of New York voted against moving ahead with the package, along with all but 8 of his Democratic colleagues. A group of 3 former governors, New Hampshire Senator Jeanne Shaheen, New Hampshire Senator Maggie Hassan, and Independent Senator Angus King of Maine, broke the 6-week stalemate on Sunday when they agreed to vote to advance 3 bipartisan annual spending bills and extend the rest of government funding until late January.
That's right, Stephanie. And I mean, that goes for the person that sent me on the PayPal saying to the Marine Corps, our Marine Corps, happy birthday. Yes, don't look a day over 200, let alone 250. Yeah, no kidding. Happy freaking birthday to them.
For a mid-December vote on extending the health care tax credits. The agreement also includes a reversal of the mass firings of federal workers by the Trump administration since the shutdown began on October 1st, and will ensure that federal workers receive back pay. Senate Majority Leader John Thune quickly endorsed the deal and called an immediate vote to begin the process of approving it as the shutdown continued to disrupt flights nationwide, threaten food assistance for millions of Americans, and leave federal workers without pay. In addition to Shaheen, King, and Hassan, Democratic Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia, home to tens of thousands of federal workers, also voted in favor of moving forward on the agreement. The moderates had expected a larger number of Democrats to vote with them, as 10 to 12 Democratic senators have been part of the negotiations. But in the end, only 5 Democrats switched their votes, the exact number that Republicans needed.
Wow. So they got the exact number that they needed, and they essentially got 5 of the Senate Democrats to flip and vote for yes, reopen the government.
The vote was temporarily delayed on Sunday evening as 3 conservatives who often criticize spending bills, Republican Senators Mike Lee of Utah, Rick Scott of Florida, and Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, withheld their votes and huddled with Thune at the back of the chamber. They eventually voted yes after speaking to President Trump. Democrats had voted 14 times not to reopen the government as they demanded the extension of tax credits that make coverage more affordable under the Affordable Care Act. Republicans said they would not negotiate on health care, but GOP leaders have been quietly working with the group of moderates as the contours of an agreement began to emerge. The agreement includes bipartisan bills worked out by the Senate Appropriations Committee to fund parts of government, food aid, veterans programs, and the legislative branch, among other things. All other funding would be extended until the end of January, giving lawmakers more than 2 months to finish additional spending bills. The deal would reinstate federal workers who had received reduction in force or layoff notices and reimburse states that spent their own funds to keep federal programs running during the shutdown. It would also protect against future reductions in force through January and guarantee federal workers would be paid once the shutdown is over. After Democrats met for over 2 hours to discuss the proposal, Schumer said he could not, quote, in good faith, support it.
Yeah, if you guys are, by the way, new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. This is what we do Monday through Friday. Always appreciate you guys hitting that subscribe, as well as hitting that like button. On the vertical side, make sure you guys just double tap that screen. Very much appreciate it. You guys don't have to like the craziness around the world, but you guys can like it for me and what I do and my takes. So very much appreciate you guys.
Schumer, who received blowback from his party in March when he voted to keep the government open, said that Democrats have now, quote, sounded the alarm on health care.
What's up, Darren? Good morning.
Say, we will not give up the fight. I just wanted to share with you a couple sound bites from lawmakers on all of this.
Republicans control the White House, the Senate, and the House. And they made clear over a period of weeks, including just this week, that this was as far as they would go as part of the shutdown talks. This was the only deal on the table.
The question was, does the shutdown further the goal of achieving some needed support?
Yeah, and that's a huge issue, Rebecca, that you point out, by the way. She's talking about the $40 billion or whatever the exact amount was to Argentina. And the reason why that whole thing even happened is because we bought out their peso, which is their money. Their money went into super hyperinflation. It was basically worthless. And that was our government essentially resetting their money. Very interesting, huh?
The extension of the tax credit.
I don't think any of our money should be going outside the United States. You know what I mean? That's just my ideology. I'm not even America first. I'm America only. Absolutely.
Judgment was that it would not produce that result. And the evidence for that is almost 7 weeks of fruitless attempts to make that happen. Would it change in a week or another week or after Thanksgiving or Christmas? And there's no evidence that it would.
That's a big win for 2 million federal employees, and added together with these other ingredients of robust appropriations bills and a guaranteed path forward to vote on fixing the ACA, that made me sign on and say, yes, we can do it.
All right, once again, those were some lawmakers.
What's up, Antonio? Good morning.
Speaking
Great
on the government shutdown. And we also do have some more reaction that I wanted to share with you here. This is from GOP Senator Mark Wayne Mullen. He's saying, after 40 days, the Senate unlocked a path to reopen the government. Final vote 60-40. I voted for the 15th time to end the Schumer shutdown. He then goes on to say at the end of this, saying that he's frustrated that Oklahomans have...
What's up, Baylor? Shit.
Faced almost 6 weeks of unnecessary hardship, travel delays, and missing
I agree,
paychecks.
Antonio. We shouldn't be doing that.
I'm optimistic the Schumer shutdown will soon come to an end. I do believe we have some more reaction here, and this is from Democratic Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania saying, after 40 days as a consistent voice against shutting our government down, I voted yes for the 15th time to reopen. I'm sorry to our military, SNAP recipients, government workers, and Capitol Police who haven't been paid in weeks. It should have never come to this. This was a failure. So once again...
Yeah, I mean, we need to stay out of other people's wars and business. I mean, if we can influence, honestly, if we can influence wars to be settled from not ways of our money, if wars can be settled by influence such as Trump saying or doing something without us costing money, then that's what I support. You know what I mean? If we can get wars settled by influence, perfect. That's exactly cool with me. You know what I mean? But should we getting involved in other people's wars? Nah.
And some reaction there as we continue to follow the government shutdown.
Shit. All right. So we're going to be following that, as you guys know. So as of 2 hours ago, Trump pardons Rudy Giuliani as well as Mark Meadows. Let's go ahead and bring this up, and we'll go ahead and talk about it right here. Give me a sec. 3, 2, 1.
And that's according to U.S. Pardon Attorney Ed Martin. He announced this Sunday night in a post.
Make sure you guys hit that like button, double tap the screen. If you guys are on the vertical side, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well. It helps out the show immensely. You know, we do this Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So
on X,
always
he
appreciate
shared
it.
Trump's proclamation granting pardons for dozens of people, including notable figures like Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows, and Sidney Powell. And here is this post here from the Associated Press sharing this news that we just learned a short time ago here. The pardon proclamation was posted in response to a message Martin shared on X on May 26, 2025, that had said, quote, "No MAGA left behind." Ed Martin, the government's pardon attorney, posted on social media that signed proclamation of the, quote, "full, complete, and unconditional pardon."
Yo, Smoking Spaceman, I'm running a double live stream. So if you don't like the vertical live, then go over to the horizontal. The normal.
Which also, as I said, names conservative attorney Sidney Powell and John Eastman. The proclamation posted online late yesterday explicitly says the pardon does not apply to President Trump. Presidential pardons apply only to federal crimes, and none of the Trump allies named were charged in federal cases over the 2020 election. The proclamation described efforts to prosecute those accused of aiding President Trump's efforts to cling to power, quote, as a grave national injustice.
Very true, AN.
Perpetrated on the American people, and said the pardons were designed to continue, quote, the process of national reconciliation. The White House didn't immediately respond to an email seeking comment today. Also pardoned were Republicans who acted as fake electors for President Trump in 2020 that were charged in state cases of submitting false certificates that confirmed they were legitimate electors despite former President Biden's victory in those states. Giuliani, Meadows, and others who were named in the proclamation had been charged by state prosecutors over the 2020 election, but the cases have hit a dead end or are slowly moving along. A judge in September dismissed the Michigan case against 15 Republicans accused of attempting to falsely certify President Trump as the winner of the election in that battleground state.
Shit. All right. So let's go and move on. We got to keep it moving. We still got another story to get to, and this one's a little bit longer. So this came out this morning as well. Israeli government briefing amid Gaza ceasefire. All right, so this is what the update is. Israeli government spokesperson Sash, I can't pronunciate her fucking last name. So Sash gave a briefing in Tel Aviv Monday after they again accused Hamas of violating the U.S. brokered ceasefire, forcing the Israel Defense Force to take lethal action. All right, so let me go ahead and bring this up, and we'll go ahead and talk about it here for a sec.
And thanks for being here with us on Live Now from Fox, taking you out live right now to the Israeli government briefing.
The prime minister will not give up, and Israel's unwavering resolve will not be shaken by Hamas's repeated crimes. We will bring every single one of them back home. Last night, the remains of Lieutenant Hadar Golden were finally brought home after 11 agonizing years, closing more than a decade of pain for his family and for the soul of this nation. We have never lost sight of our sacred duty to bring Lieutenant Hadar Golden home and every single fallen soldier home. For years, we have devoted every effort and every resource to ensure that this hero receives the burial of honor he deserves. For 11 years, the Prime Minister has borne the memory of our fallen heroes, Hadar Golden and our own Shaul, courageous sons of Israel slain and stolen by Hamas barbarians back in 2014. The Prime Minister has always
just talk about what is happening now. I don't care about 2014 and all this bullshit.
Believe there is no other option than bringing home these two men and all of our hostages, every single one of them. It was the heroism of our soldiers who also worked tirelessly to find both of their remains and bring them back home. What's up, DD? A reserve combat team composed of members of Lieutenant Golden's platoon arrived in Gaza to accompany his remains on his final journey back home as it crossed into Israeli territory yesterday. Today, Lieutenant Golden is home, and he will finally be laid to rest. May his memory be a blessing. We have 4 more hostages in Gaza that Hamas is continuing to hold. Holding on to deceased hostages is what we are dealing with. Deceased people, deceased hostages. We are simply demanding for them to be returned. Their names are Ron Gvili, Meni Goddard, Dror Or, and Thai national Sutiask Rintalak. Hamas knows where these hostages are located. Hamas chose to keep them there. And that's why I stand here before you today, still speaking of 4 captives who should already be home. They are required under this agreement to return all of our hostages. Next, I can share with you today that Special Envoy Jared Kushner is here in Israel and had a meeting with the Prime Minister this morning in his office here in Jerusalem. Together, the two discussed Phase 1, which we are currently still in to bring our remaining hostages, and the future of Phase 2 of this plan, which includes the disarming of Hamas, demilitarizing Gaza, and ensuring Hamas will have no role in the future of Gaza ever again. Phase 2 also includes the establishment of the International Stabilization Force, and the details of which, of course, together are being discussed. I'll now take a few questions.
Let's see, the media is going to ask questions now from her little tablet there.
Okay, first question from Steve Shear from Reuters. How much pressure is Israel under to allow the safe passage of the 200 Hamas fighters in Gaza? Under what scenario will Israel allow them to go free? Specifically, of course, thanks for your question on this, Steve. Right now, they are actually not fighters. They are terrorists in that tunnel, and Turkish propaganda cannot change the fact that they are terrorists. Terrorists who are with Hamas. Even Hamas admits.
Yeah, but the United States pays Turkey to fucking play nice with Israel, so I thought that was kind of ironic that this is happening.
Its tunnels are for its terrorists and not for its people. But regarding that, I don't have much information to share with you. I would also just like to, of course, talk about any decision that is made. It's made in partnership, in full collaboration with President Trump and his team. Of course, these meetings are ongoing. We are working together with the Trump administration under this plan every step of the way. Or Shaked from Israel Hayom. President Trump is expected to meet with Syrian President.
Funded, not funds. Funded.
Later today at the White House is a security agreement between Israel and Syria expected to be signed in this context.
What's up, Anson? Hey, go over to the horizontal stream. We've got a vertical stream and a horizontal stream going simultaneously.
I don't have knowledge of that, nothing to share with you on that right now. But of course, when it comes to Syria, our eyes are wide open about the past of this Syrian president. But like I said, not much to share with you on that. But I would love, of course, to reiterate that Israel supports the Druze community. And we have supported those communities during the horrific massacres the Druze endured in Sweda inside of Syria. And Israel will continue to support our brothers of the Druze community as time goes on.
I want to hear more about the ceasefire.
Joel Pollack from California.
The violation.
California Post. After a month of ceasefire, how would you describe the mood in Israel? Thanks so much for that question, Joel. It's really important for us to reiterate that Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that shit either.
We are here. We are at a turning point here in Israel when it comes to this region.
Honestly, we know how you are going to say how your people think and
getting
feel.
Our hostages out. Like I said at the beginning of this brief, we have 4 hostages left in.
Well, you just got one this morning, and that would leave 3, not 4.
Gaza. We started at 255. It is a commitment Prime Minister Netanyahu has made from the beginning of this war, and it has been a commitment he's made for years. Like I said before, getting Lieutenant Hadar Goldin was a commitment the Prime Minister made 11 years ago. Here I am standing in front of you today telling you that Lieutenant Hadar Goldin will be buried here in Israel as his remains have finally been brought home. His family is now able to close his.
Yeah, but that's where it gets finicky there, AN. There's a window between these ceasefires. It's like the 24-hour and a 72-hour period rule of the. It's some bullshit. I don't know why they do that shit. I'm sure to be able to get away with what they want to do, but yeah. That's just the way that works.
Horrific circle. And also, we got the release of our 20 living hostages back here. Remember, people doubted the Prime Minister at the beginning of the war that he couldn't even bring home 1 hostage. Here I am today, 255 hostages from the Gaza Strip are now back. Julia Frankel from the Associated Press is.
That's right, Draco. Definitely very narcissist. Very much involved in myself, always, which is true. Good catch.
And has Israel engaged in any ceasefire-related talks about the 200 trapped Hamas fighters in Gaza? Did the topic come up in the Prime Minister's meeting with Kushner today? I've answered that question already. Hi from TV2 in Norway. I hope you have a comment on the following. The Norwegian Prime Minister is facing criticism for participating in the Kristallnacht commemoration organized by the Anti-Racist Center rather than one hosted by the Jewish community itself. I'm reading your comments on the background. Let's get something very clear. Norway was the first country to reward Hamas with a Palestinian state. The Prime Minister has consistently said that rewarding anyone with a
What's up, Kissy Cat? Good morning. Great to see you in the chat. Hopefully you're enjoying your Monday morning so far. Definitely know we are.
Is a reward for terrorism. I'd also like to point you to the statement the Foreign Ministry put out specifically about this. I'll read part of it. The Norwegian Prime Minister is setting new records of moral depravity, anti-Israel hostility, and anti-Semitism. He chose to participate in a ceremony that turned a horrific episode of the murder and persecution of Jews. The anniversary.
That is true. We definitely need some donos.
Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate some freaking.
Shit. Hey, real quick, S&S comes in with a donation as well. And by the way, now it makes sense that he was the PayPal sender the first time. So S&S, my man, thank you so much. And he sends in another $1 and he says, thank you for all that you do. Keep bringing it up. Cheers. Much love, honor, and respect, S&S Contracting. Yo, I very much appreciate that. I very much appreciate that, bro. Fucking every dollar counts.
Of Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass, into a weapon against the Jewish state, Israelis, and Jews. Point you back to that statement for more information. Question 2, according to Rabbi Michael Cohen, the Jewish community in Norway states that many of its members are afraid to attend the Anti-Racist Center event. I don't have specific knowledge on that, but like I said, point you back to our foreign ministry's statement regarding this, where you will be able to find more details. Specifically, of course, like I have continued to say over the last few briefings, details are continuously being worked out about phase 2, as we are still in phase 1, where we are pushing for the release. We are demanding for the release of our 4 hostages to be returned. It is mandatory under this plan to bring home all of our hostages, and we are expecting Hamas to do that as soon as possible. But of course, when it comes to the future of this plan under phase 2, the Prime Minister said it today that there will be no Turkish boots on the ground. He's insisted on that, and he's made that very, very clear. Those are all the questions that I see right now. Of course, you can reach out to the Prime Minister's office with any question you have. We'll make sure to try to answer it. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Shit. All right. So I think that's it. Oh, right here. Here it is. Okay, I was hoping that they were going to talk about this shit somewhere in this shit. I'm glad that I scrolled ahead to see. So the IDF comes out on Twitter/X. Ceasefire violation. 2 terrorists were identified crossing the yellow line and approaching IDF troops in southern Gaza, posing an immediate threat to them. I wonder how so. Following the identification, the IDF struck and eliminated the terrorists in order to remove the threat. Okay, good. Now, let's just say you did that. Don't go and fucking bomb some other place in Gaza right now, because this happened. Don't do that. Just eliminate the threat if they were an actual threat and keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Don't now give this an excuse to go, oh, now we're going to go fucking bomb this building over here. You know what I mean? Like, let's not do that. Please.
Posing an immediate threat to them. Following the identification, the IDF struck and eliminated the terrorists in order to remove the threat. And let's give you a live look right now out of Gaza here this morning. We are also learning this morning that Israel today returned the remains of 15 Palestinians to Gaza in the latest step forward for U.S. brokered ceasefire, as a senior White House envoy met with Israeli leaders to discuss the next stages of the fragile agreement. Israel returned the bodies after Palestinian militants released the remains of a hostage on Sunday. With the latest exchange, only 4 bodies of hostages remain in Gaza. As the first stage of the agreement nears its end, U.S. President Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, met on Monday today with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem. And there's that post shared there to social media from the Prime Minister of Israel confirming that. So they met in his office there, and the last ceasefire agreement in January of 2025 fizzled after the exchange of hostages for Palestinian prisoners, with Israel launching a wave of airstrikes over Gaza. At the time, mediators were unable to bring Hamas and Israel to the table to negotiate troop withdrawal and future governance of the Strip. And they faced...
Well, at least we figured out what the fuck this whole ordeal was regards to the ceasefire violation there. I'm glad that we figured that out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank you all enough. We can't do this fucking shit without you guys. I'm very honored to be able to do this Monday through Saturday, actually. We do it Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we do, world news, geopolitics, U.S. politics, all of that stuff. Love talking about it. And then, of course, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m., we have our members only live streams for you guys. It's our one way to be able to give back and have a good time and actually get away from a lot of those topics and get into some funny, laughable, enjoyable content. You know what I mean? All right. So we're going to be rating our buddy Chaotic Truth. If you guys stick around, do me that favor and also hit the like button on the way out. Very much appreciate all of you guys. So make sure you guys stick around for that raid. Until tomorrow for more of the world's madness as we continue down this truth-seeking adventure as always. Much love, honor, respect, everybody. God bless everybody.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning.